I'm going to share with you my favourite piece of popular culture from when I was younger. I remember it vividly. It was a video about how they make chicken nuggets.
Who knows what this is?
Chicken.
And it was Jamie Oliver in a classroom full of kids. And he was trying to scare the kids into being terrified of chicken nuggets. Tries to make it look really disgusting. And then at the end he's like, right, now kids, would you actually eat this?
Now, who would still eat this?
And they all put their hands up to say yes, they would. Today we're talking all things chicken burgers. We're going to recreate our own and make it better. We have to basically start by almost mimicking the reconstitution process. It looks like real chicken, but because of the shape, there's no way that you'd be able to produce the chicken on that scale. What we're going to do is we've got some frozen meat. If you have frozen meat rather than your fridge temperature meat, it minces a little bit more sloppily. And also, when you want to emulsify something, you want something that's going to sit at around about 3 degrees. And I'm going to use thigh. Breast is just a little bit too dry. Thigh's a tad cheaper. It's pretty much pointless in using a more expensive part of the chicken to do reconstituted chicken. So what we're going to do as well is, obviously chicken is quite lean. So the thigh's probably got quite a lot of connected tissue, collagen, a bit more gelatin than the breast, but it doesn't really have any fat. So what we're going to do to replace the fat in there is we're going to use chicken skin, frozen as well. So just chopping through it, so it helps it go through the mincer a little bit easier. This is it's basically going to make sure that the mix isn't too firm. It makes it a little bit more tender and adds a little bit more flavour to it as well when it cooks. Okay, so then we have our mince and our frozen skin, and now what we're going to do is emulsify that in a stand mixer. Stand mixer's been in the fridge, so it's nice and cold, and so's the paddle. Don't put too much into the mixer because it'll struggle to mix and emulsify as well. And then what we're going to do is just slowly start to bring this mix together, and then we'll add our ingredients to it as it emulsifies. So the chicken skin and the mince, they need to emulsify together. What happens when that occurs is typically you add a bit of liquid to it. You can add sriracha, you can add cider, you can add whatever. Processed meat has a specific flavour, whether it's Billy Bear ham or mortadella, you know? It's that same satisfying, almost chew to it. And this is the best way to do it for chicken. And it'll take quite a while. It's not a really, really quick process. This process of starting the emulsification it can take about 10 minutes. If your mix gets warm, then it breaks. So that's why we've got the ice underneath the bowl. And what we're actually going to do as well is just add a tiny bit of ice into there as well. So like with any emulsion, water and moisture is the thing that stabilizes the emulsion. You don't just have to use a KitchenAid, you could actually use a blender and treat it a bit more like a chicken mousse. So the other thing that helps with the emulsion is the skim milk powder. The reason we put skim milk powder in there is because it's got quite a lot of fat in it, but without all the loose water particles. And the fat is what helps to emulsify into the meat. So skim milk powder I'm going to gradually add to there. You'll find that most sausages, any sort of processed meat will have skim milk powder in it for that reason. Smoked paprika, black pepper, nice bit of white pepper, some garlic powder, salt, some Dijon mustard, touch of cider, and then the cream is the last bit of fat. And what we're going to do is stop it at this point and give it a really good scrape all the way around. And you can see it's completely changed consistency. You know, it's gone from being some nicely uniformed minced chicken into what looks like Play-Doh. Yeah, it doesn't look the most appealing, I'm not gonna lie. Add a little bit more ice as it continues to mix, and the most important thing is just to keep that mix cool. Okay, cool. So this is what the final mix looks like, and it's almost got quite a firm pull to it. So the meat fibers have emulsified with the fat. And I know that this is going to be really nicely emulsified. We are going to take our mix out now, and we're going to pipe it. We've got these reusable piping bags. We're going to pipe it onto a steamer tray with a bit of grease proof, so almost quite long and thin. I'm going to pipe it like this, and then I'm going to even it up afterwards. So if you guys are being precious about this at home, just think about all the chicken nuggets you've eaten in your life. It's actually quite important though, you don't get any spaces between the mousse, because when it cooks you'll be able to sort of taste that it's not one homogeneous mix. And it doesn't have to be too immaculately perfect, because at the end of the day you're trying to make it look like it's a chicken fillet, not a reconstituted chicken fillet. It does look a little bit grim though, I have to say. It's not like the reason you get into cooking, is it? Yeah, I mean it's probably all machine made, to be honest. Cool, then we're going to freeze these down, and then we'll pane them. So what I've got here is my dry mix. So this is a combination of potato starch, a few different spices, plain flour. This is our wet dredge. So this is buttermilk, egg white, again, a little bit of bicarb and a few other seasonings. We get our frozen patty, and this is just sort of semi-frozen, so it's holding its shape, and dip it straight into the dry, and then go into the wet dredge, shaking off any excess, and then in there, I kind of like want to bash it around a little bit, be fairly aggressive with it, and then it helps to form those little ridges and crags all over it. So don't worry about being too rough with it. So that's what we want. It's that kind of craggy effect you get with southern fried chicken. Oil is only on 150 degrees, and we're going to dip it in. And we're going to let it cook fairly slowly because it's quite cold, the meat. So we want it to cook all the way through. Probably not too far off. What we've got forming is these little crags and crevices all over, which is perfect. So there we go, so 76 degrees, perfect. Now we have this chicken salt that we use in the restaurant, which is a combination of Szechuan powder, a little bit of chicken bouillon, some spices, and there we go. Look at that patty, super crispy and craggy. The bun is essential, super sweet, like ultra processed, doesn't taste like real bread. So actually really hard to recreate anything that's similar to that. Very mass produced, but it has that sort of flavour profile that you're looking for, which is soft, sweet, no real texture or uniformity to it. I think it's just basically quite smashable, for want of a better term. And then the mayonnaise in the bun. So our preference is Kewpie mayo. It just works really well in a chicken sandwich. Okay, so our Kewpie mayo is on. Now I'm just going to liberally add our salad. We've just dressed it with a little bit of rapeseed, salt and pepper, and then we've got our stunning, crispy, craggy chicken that goes on top, like so, and then the bun on top. And there we go, fit for a king. So we've just finished making it, and I just wanted to get some other high street comparisons to test. This is a chicken mayo sandwich from McDonald's. And why is it so small? What has happened to it? This is the patty, and it's just like a fried little piece of chicken. I'll try it. And look how thin it is. There's actually more batter than there is chicken. Obviously the bun's always banging. Love a McDonald's bun. KFC mini fillet burger. It's not looking too sexy, but KFC chicken usually stacks up. I actually still can't slag it off. This is a newcomer, Jollibees. So this is a Filipino fried chicken, new on the London scene. People raving about it. To be honest, it looks absolutely incredible. Yeah, that's banging. One of Anthony Bourdain's guilty pleasures, I believe. But it's actually delicious. It's probably nicely spiced. Cheese sauce is really good. Nice mayo. Yeah, shout out Jollibees. This is actually pretty good. And then this was my favourite, the Burger King one. It's by no means what it used to be, I don't feel. First of all, the lettuce is very rough, but yeah, it's got this sort of like flying saucer-like shape. Just very strange chicken. Not sure I want to eat the bun. It looks pretty slimy. Yeah, so definitely completely reconstituted chicken. Just for taste test, we have this bad boy. So, super, super crispy, super craggy, because we followed the same techniques that we do our normal chicken. Now I'm going to do the taste test. Oh, juicy, good amount of chicken in there, nice layer of batter on the outside, nice fresh salad as well. That is my childhood memory of what a chicken royale used to taste like.